Hi, it's Caleb with Terrytown RV. I'm here at a used Hideout 175 BH and we're going to do an orientation. We'll start up here in the front with your power tongue jack. So on the left here, you have on off for that light switch, and on the right you have extend and retract to raise and lower the jack to hook and unhook from your vehicle. Underneath this tab here, there's a spot for you to manually crank that up, and in the compartment here, kind of tucked in the middle, is a crank right there that you use to manually crank that up or down. That way you don't get stuck on or off your vehicle. And behind that you have your single 20-pound propane tank. All you gotta do is open and close the valve on top, and then you have your battery behind that. You can see the hitch brackets are on here as well. There's some hitch equipment in that storage. You'll notice on either marker light on either side, there's this little extra tab. That is for Furrion side view cameras. So that camera will go on there, and then you'll be able to see the side of the trailer as you're going down the road. Helps eliminate your blind spot a little bit, make it a little bit more easy to tow for you. And above that, you have some stickers with vehicle information, your VIN numbers on there. There's cargo capacities, dry weights, tire pressure, things like that. So you have that to reference. We'll open up the compartment here. You can see the other side of that pass through. Be able to get a better look at some of the stuff in here. There's the hitch equipment there, your starter kit. There's some other goodies in here as well as those cranks. And those cranks you'll use for your stabilizers here as well. There's stabilizers on all four corners. They are for stabilization only, not for leveling. So to level your trailer out, you're gonna raise or lower the front to get it leveled out front to back, and then to level it out side to side, you'll put boards or blocks underneath the tires. Once it's leveled to your satisfaction, you'll run your stabilizers down to the ground, put a little pressure on them, and their job is solely to keep the unit stable while you're using it. And back here you have your power cord here. It's a 30 amp cord. It just pulls out the side there, and you'll push it in when you're done, and that just goes straight up to your connection. You have your hookups for water here. On the left is your freshwater tank fill. So you use that if you're rustic camping. It's just a gravity fill, so stick your hose in there, and then once your tank is filled, you'll turn your water pump on, and that is going to take the water from your freshwater tank and send it throughout the unit. To the right is your city water connection. So if you're hooked up to water full time, hook your garden hose up to that, turn it on, and that'll be your water pressure. With the city water connection, I do recommend you use a water pressure regulator. City water is generally designed for houses, not RVs. So it's sometimes a little bit too high pressure for an RV. So if you use that water pressure regulator on there, that'll lower the PSI into a more reasonable range for you. Down below here, you have the most fun part of camping, your sewer tank drains. So on the right is for your black tank, on the left is your gray tank. It is labeled for you right up top here, and the handles are color coordinated. So when you go to drain these, hook your sewer hose up first, then you'll pull your black tank handle. That's for your toilet. Once that is empty, you'll pull your gray tank handle. That gray dirty singing shower water will help to rinse the black toilet water out of the end of the drain here and out of your sewer hose. When you're all done with that, close up your valves, put your sewer cap on, and then you can store your sewer hose in your back bumper. This cap just pulls off of there, and you'll slide the sewer hose in there. That way you store it out of the way from all your other belongings, since they get pretty gross. And then right up here, you'll see the drain valve. That is for the freshwater tank. Just give that valve a quarter turn to open and close it. Have your water heater over here. So we'll pop this open. And this is a gas only water heater. So it'll run off of your propane. Down at the bottom, you have your drain and your anode rod. That is gonna go in there. You'll tighten that down with a 1 1/16 inch socket. And then turn your water on, and it's gonna start to fill the tank here. Before you turn it on gas, you wanna make sure the tank is filled. To do that, pull on your pressure relief valve, and water's gonna come out of there. Once water comes out of there, you're good to turn it on. Just make sure your propane is turned on. And then when you're all done with it, turn it off inside. I recommend you take your anode rod out so that the water can drain, and then you're good to go. Over time, that anode rod is gonna corrode. The anode rod corrodes because there's a steel tank here, so it corrodes so the tank doesn't corrode. So you have to replace that every 2 or 3 years or so. The hardest part of these sometimes is getting the latches to line up. Right in the middle. There we go. Come around to the back. We have input for cable and satellite on the left here. So if you're staying somewhere that has cable hookup, or if you have a portable satellite dish, that's where you hook your coax up to. You have your spare tire, and you are prepped for a Furion backup camera as well. So that could tie in with the side view cameras if you got that, except obviously you'd see behind you for when you're backing up, or you can have that open going down the road so you can see what's going on behind you. Come around to the door side here. You have power awning with the LED lights underneath it. Have a vent here for above the stove top. There's a little flap in here that opens up so that can vent outside. When you're not using that, you'll just kind of push that shut and it'll snap in place. That way that seals it off from any bugs or insects, critters get inside there. You have furnace exhaust here. That's going to blow out hot air when you're running your furnace. So you want to be sure you don't block it or touch it. Then we have 2 vents for the back of your refrigerator. You'll notice this bottom one has a little white hose sticking out of it. That's for condensation, so you want to make sure that sticks out like that. Otherwise, if it's inside, that vent is going to drip condensation inside your unit, and that'll cause water damage. So you want that to stick outside so that condensation drips outside the unit. Then you have a little hookup for a leash. It's also a bottle opener. You have solid steps on here. With the solid steps, when you're putting those in or out of the doorway, make sure your door is open as far as it can go. You'll pick that up. And this will set into place, and it locks on either side. To unlock it, just turn your yellow handle here to the right or the left. It moves both ways, and then you'll set that down. Your legs are adjustable in here as well, so there's pins on both sides here that you'll pop out, and you can move those legs up or down as needed to level that out. And then we have the other side of the pass-through here. So there's 10-foot sewer hose in here, 25-foot freshwater hose. There's a 30 amp to 110 adapter. You have your brake controller here and the hitch and hitch tools and paperwork for you. One last thing here is this hookup for our portable solar panel. If you got that panel, hook that up and it'll trickle charge your battery just to help keep it charging a little bit if you're going off grid or anything like that. It'll help not drain your battery down so fast. But we'll head inside next. Up top here are going to be a few controls. So you have 2 light switches. This one on the left does your awning lights outside. The one on the right does your ceiling lights. And then you have the control for your awning extend. Hold that down, your awning will start to extend out. Your awning does not stop automatically as it goes out, so you do want to keep an eye on it. There's going to be a little extra fabric piece that hangs down at the end. And you also see the bare awning tube. That's going to be your signal that it's fully extended. So there's that bare awning tube. The fabric piece is stuck to it a little bit. See if I can, there it goes. Now that fabric hangs down, and that's what that'll look like fully extended. We'll come out here so we can see the full effect. So that's what that'll look like fully extended. To retract it, just hold down retract, and once it gets up against the side of the trailer, you'll take your finger off of the button. We'll work our way inside here though. So your keys are going to be here on your sink. You have 2 sets here. Purple keys are going to be for the entry door. Silver keys will be for the compartment doors. You have a 2-burner stove top. To light it, you'll turn it to light, and you'll use matches or a lighter to light the burner. You have light and fan for above that. Standard 110 microwave. There we go. So just type in your time there, and simple as that. Down below is your refrigerator. There are instructions for it down at the bottom panel here. Otherwise, for starting it, pop open the cover. You'll push the on button. First, it's going to go to auto. So on auto mode, it's going to switch between gas and electric based off of what source is available. It looks for electric first, so since we're plugged into shore power, it's going to run off of electric. If I were to unplug the trailer, it would switch over to gas. The propane tank is shut though, so then this light would turn on because it failed to light on gas. If this light does ever come on, just go out, double check your propane tank, make sure it's turned on and make sure it's not empty, and then turn it off, turn it on again so that it can try and light. You can also run it off of gas only if this button is sticking out. Otherwise, when you push it in, that's on auto. That's your furnace right there. Control for the furnace is right behind me. So up at the top is going to be how you turn it on. So if you push this and slide it to the right, that'll kick it on. You'll hear that turn on there, the fan. To turn it off, push it all the way to the left, and you'll hear it click into place. The fan will continue to run though, because it's got to do a cool down cycle. Even though it didn't light, it's still going to do that cycle. Then you have your monitor panel here, so you can turn your water pump on and off, turn your water heater on and off, check the levels of your battery, fresh, black, gray tanks. Those will all light up there as they fill. Then we have the double bunks back here. These lights have a push button in the center of them to turn it on and off, and you do have 300-pound capacity for the bunks there. Down below the bottom one, you have your breakers and your fuses. Everything is labeled for you here, so you know which breaker and which fuse goes to what. Step into the bathroom. Push button light again there. Toilet with the foot pedal flush. Halfway down brings water into the bowl. All the way down opens the flange and flushes that into the tank. And then you have your sink and your shower. Up above is a vent with a fan. So manually crank that open, push the button to turn your fan on. It's pretty straightforward. Just be sure you close that if it's going to rain. Obviously you don't want water inside. And also if you're going down the road, if you have that open, sometimes gusts of wind from just traveling, or if it's windy out, will damage that and bend it. On the wall here, you do have a location for a TV. I recommend you use a stud finder to find exactly where the backer is at. They do have the sticker here. They don't center on the backer all the time. So if you use a stud finder, you'll find out exactly where that's at. And then your connections are right up above. You have this on-off switch here for your antenna. So if the green light is on, your antenna is on. If you push that off, it turns the antenna off. If you're hooked up to cable or satellite, you want the antenna turned off. Otherwise, if you're just going for local channels, turn your antenna on. And you have the air conditioner here. So we'll turn it on, change your temp, or set a timer on it. Change your modes here and your fan speeds. Energy saver, obviously just going to save your energy on there. You can do a sleep mode as well, so it doesn't run all the time while you're sleeping. Keeps it a little bit quieter in here. Then if we pick up on the bed, you have some storage underneath there as well, hidden in there. And your booth here does turn into a bed as well. If you take the tabletop, pick that up from the legs, take the legs out of the mounts at the bottom, just set them aside. Then your tabletop will set on these black ledges all the way around. And you'll take your rear cushions here for the back, set those in the middle there to fill the gap. And you'll have an extra bed if you have extra people staying with you, or if you just need extra room to sleep. But that is going to be everything inside here. I hope this video is helpful to you. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We'd love to get those answered for you. And thank you for choosing Tarrytown RV.